Hey, Vaughn. I have never played it, so this should be interesting. It was recommended when I was looking into games to do with mental health. And I am looking to have several options for my students to choose from for an assignment in psych nursing. So I'm testing out some of the games from the recommendations I found to make sure that an hour or two of gameplay would actually satisfy the assignment. They would get enough of an experience to be able to write the assignment. I am terrible at parkour and platformers, so I expect this to go extremely well. Just so we're clear, this is absolutely not about me doing well at this game. I enjoyed watching Aletha play it. Now, if I could also get it to come up on the screen, that'd be great. There we go. All right, and I reset all the keybinds so they're what I'm used to at least try to make that much work. So let's see. Well, we are Madeline. This is it, Madeline. Just breathe. Why are you so nervous? That's... Okay. Let's see what I did wrong here. Oh, right and down are both D. That's wrong. That's supposed to be S. Okay. Chicory might be on my list. I'm not sure. Okay, well, that's about how I expected that to go. Okay, so that's what grab is for, and I set that to G. Okay. Okay, there should be a better way to grab than that. But I don't know what I would choose instead. Because I can't get to G fast enough, but there's nothing else I would automatically... Depression and expectation, okay. Oh, good grief. Okay. Yeah, that worked well. Yep. Trying to get to G is putting me at F. Let me at least try switching to that. Excuse you. Actually, the mouse doesn't seem to do anything. Nope, that was not correct at all. There we go. Looks like I actually need to get up to that thing. Okay, can I go this way? Okay. Excuse me, ma'am? Excuse you? No, resume? But what? I'm hitting every key that makes any kind of sense, and it's doing nothing. Excuse me, ma'am? The sign up front is busted. Is this the mountain trail? X makes no sense, but okay, apparently that's the right key. I couldn't find my controller. Unfortunately. The sign up front is busted. Is this the mountain trail? You're almost there. It's just across the bridge. By the way, you should call someone about your driveway. The ridge collapsed, and I nearly died. Rude? If my driveway almost did you in, the mountain might be a bit much for you. Well, if an old bat like you can survive out here, I think I'll be fine. Suit yourself. But you should know, Celeste Mountain is a strange place. You might see things. Things you ain't ready to see. You should seek help, lady. I'm guessing I just need to run across this. Yeah. Okay. We can do this. Ha, that wasn't even the start. I have a feeling that as opposed to being about anxiety, this is just going to give me anxiety. Select Save and Quit from the pause menu anytime to take a break. You'll resume from the same screen and you won't lose any progress. Okay? Oh, good grief. Why does that kill me? And that also kills me. Okay. Why did it? Yeah. And where in the heck am I supposed to go from here? That went well. That went well. Yeah, go get some popcorn indeed. Oh, good grief. Hold on. Okay, nope, that doesn't work either. Like, I'm not even sure hints would help. This is very much not my usual sort of game at all. And I'm kind of already deciding that there is no way I'm making this one of the options for my students, because there may be a fair bit about anxiety in the storyline somewhere along the way, but if it's not right out from the gate, they're not going to get it. Okay, I've managed this much. And occasionally I even manage to get over there. Okay. It's really in the cutscene between levels? Yeah. Yeah, I don't see this one working for my purposes. I might even... Okay, I did not think that was gonna work. Okay, well that's special. Okay. I presume I'm supposed to grab that strawberry up there. But I can't go around that little corner there, so that's no good. Okay, nope, didn't want to do that. Okay. Not what I'm trying to do at all. Okay, that was also not what I was trying to do. Yeah. Strawberries are a bonus thing? Huh? Yep. Okay. Like, I can't seem to get any additional, like, no matter what else I hit with this, I don't seem to be able to get any additional height. Like, even with dash. Okay. But then what? Exactly. Okay, that was interesting. Seems like I might actually be onto something there. Just have to time it right. Oh. Oh. Just a hair too soon or a hair too late, I think. Mr. Jones just decided to give you a heart attack by popping a snack bag loudly. Oh, well, that wasn't very nice of him. Trying to time this feels like trying to play double dutch. Which, by the way, is also a skill I never mastered. Timing is a lot, clearly. Whoa! I don't even know how that happened. But I'll take it. Okay. What in the world? Run, jump, grab. Nope. Run, jump, dash, grab. Run, jump, dash, grab. Okay. Up. That way. No! Not back there. If I go back that way, what does that get me? What, if anything, do these wires do? I presume I cannot walk on them. No. Jump, dash, grab. Up, 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 up. Okay. Jump, dash, grab. Okay. Now what? Now I'm just like up here. That still doesn't get me over to the other side. Yeah, that didn't do anything good. Oh no. Even if I get up to those X's that are above me there, I don't see how that does me any good. also does me no good. Pleased to know this game does in fact track deaths. Awesome! Can I get on that sign? No. That went well. Oh wait, that's different. Doesn't appear to do any good, but it's different. Alright, Bon, I legitimately do not see any path that gets me over to that higher, like, stone or whatever it is, to be able to, like, once I'm there, it looks like I should be able to jump up to the X's that lead up and off the screen, but getting from here to there, I just don't see. That went well. Why is it suddenly impossible to make this at all? Okay. Okay. Okay, that was just luck. And I'm never going to manage that again. I mean, I pretty much knew almost right away that this was not going to be a winner. I don't even know how I'm turning around when that happens. think this is where I say my goal here was to determine, can my students get what they would need for this assignment from 1 to 2 hours of play of this? I have my answer. That answer is no. Absolutely not. So I think it might actually be done. This might just be a super, super short stream because there's not actually much point to this. Yeah. So, thanks for coming along for the ride. I think I'm going to opt for one of the ones that has a clearer like Actual Sunlight might be next. I could even just switch categories and try that. Actually, let's see. Can you drop those into mod chat, please, Spawn? So that I remember, because it sounds like I should check those out. This one is considered mature, that may not be suitable for some viewers. Okay. Let's get Cozy out of the tags then. And get mental health into the tags, because I have a feeling that's why. This is the one that goes into depression, and I believe the character is at some point actively suicidal. So, do I need a 5-minute de-stressing break first? Potentially. Did you have something in mind? You did not. Okay. So let's... I'm launching Actual Sunlight. And this is going to take a minute to get it to show up. More of a, should you walk away for a second before starting a new game? I mean, no, because that was not a rage quit. That was a, I have gotten what I need to out of this. Why am I punishing myself quit? Okay, so let's get here. Add capture. Or games built on Chromium cannot be captured using game capture. Use window capture. Okay. Okay, oh, that's an interesting aspect ratio. Alright. Menus will be in English regardless of settings. Okay. These are extremely mature themes, including depression and thoughts of suicide. Okay. Player discretion is strongly advised, and this game is not appropriate for players under the age of 18. Noted. Do you want to continue? Yes. Ooh. Okay, well, that's an interesting question. I know what you're thinking. Why keep getting up? Day in and day out, even though your life is going nowhere. No raises, no promotions, no hope. No future. And let's face it, no love. But don't feel bad for yourself. Feel bad for exploited immigrants who have their fingers shattered while stocking shelves on the graveyard shift of monolithic retailers. Feel bad for the soldiers of pointless wars who have their arms blown off by IEDs. Feel bad for arthritic, long-haul truck drivers who need every firm grasp they have left for the dark roads and bottom-crashing races ahead. And this is the sort of thing that depression does do to you, where you then feel guilty for feeling bad, and that spirals into a worse cycle. No matter how bad things get, none of these people can live the life that you can. A life of pathetic, dick-punching resignation. Okay then. It does already have a mature rating in the category. Do I need to put something additional? Let's check off significant profanity or vulgarity. Okay. There we go. You are lucky. You have food, you have water, and you have shelter. Shelter that specifically includes at least one room with a locking door, an internet connection, and a computer you don't share with your elderly parents. No king leaves you too exhausted from one type of hampering to indulge in another. No bishop lives to tell you not to bash yours. There has never been a better time in the history of mankind to be completely, cripplingly, devastatingly alone, and yet here you are, thinking about giving up on the good times. Not realizing that you still have so much to live for. That there is still so much to jerk off to. Okay? After all, the world is alive. Alive with people as fat, shallow, and broken as you are. Alive with beautiful women that have been lied to all their lives, who get on buses bound for your pornography. Alive with the seething sadness of all our breaking dreams. And I hope that you read these words and realize that there is still so much inside of you, just waiting to come out. I hope you promise yourself to live to see the day that you truly fall in love at first sight. Lock your eyes onto a look you've waited a lifetime to see. Hit the pause button, take a deep breath, and know what it would be like to be wanted, even if it isn't for the right reasons, by anybody, if only for a moment. Wow. Patient transcript, Evan Winter. Doctor, why did you set your alarm for 5 a.m. every morning even though you would never get up for it? Why hit snooze for 2 hours? I wanted to start exercising. I mean, look at me. I had to. Then why didn't you? I don't know. I guess the night before, you feel like tomorrow will be different. Every night you think tomorrow's the day you're going to do it. Start exercising? Start everything. Okay. Arrow keys to move. Z to interact. Assembly instructions. Sawdust dresser. By Evan Winter. Attempt to open box. Failed to do so. And rip corrugated cardboard into pieces until dresser parts are exposed. I feel that. I have had many times that I've had to do exactly that to get at things. Consider insistence of two-person assembly to be personal indictment of character and discrimination towards sad loners. Utter homophobic indignities about uppity Scandinavians and their perfect little shoebox existences. Lovely. Figure out that assembly of dresser will require actual tools and not just syringe-thin Allen key. Run downstairs to a convenience store that thrives on overpriced sundries for emasculate condominium manchildren. Buy knockoff Chinese screwdrivers for 3 times normal retail price. Assemble dresser, periodically stopping to drink alone and stretch out re-aggravated lower back injuries. Screw up assembly at the very end such that dresser looks completely fine. But drawers are fixed in place and do not actually open. Turn structure around completely, exposing rear side of dresser, remove top drawer entirely, rendering entire dresser as giant open hole. Realize that nobody will probably ever see how fucked up this is, that it wouldn't be a criteria if any girl was actually willing to come up here in the first place, and that you're probably just going to leave all of your clothes hanging over furniture or stuck in the dryer anyways. Live with it. An e-reader. Definitely obsolete by now. Creative Writing 497Y, University of Toronto. Instructor, Evan Winter. First day lecture notes. The first thing you should know about being a writer is that it will turn you into a person who will find every excuse not to write. True facts. In fact, like many things in life, the more you want it to happen, the stupider about it you will get. A lot of people will never relate to this. A lot of people don't know what it's like to badly want something that very few people will ever get to have. And I'm not talking about money or fame, obviously. Everybody wants that. I'm talking about the deeply felt desire to say something that is painful in a way that is both beautiful and true. But without discipline, this desire will melt you into a crazy, miserable shithead. I'll give you an example. I remember when I decided that enough was enough, and that I was finally going to get serious about becoming an author. I went straight to the nearest bookstore to buy every book about writing that I could get my hands on. I was prepared to do anything, absolutely anything, except actually sit down and write. There were so many books that I felt I had to read before I could attempt to write anything that I bought a $300 e-reader instead of trying to carry them all home. Of course, I also planned to actually read all the books that I had supposedly read in school. That e-reader sat on my nightstand and collected dust for years. I don't want to do that again. Can we escape out of here? Apparently not. I'm afraid of what I'm going to get from the laptop. Not gonna lie. Review, Awake. Something Awful Forums by Redwinter47. I'm posting this review because I think the community that is built up around this game is nothing but a moronic circle jerk. People have taken the fact that it is some false sliver of artistic credibility and blown it out to ridiculousness as a way of feeling better about something that we all know is true about video games. That they are a shitty, anesthetic way that we have spent our shitty, anesthetized lives. It's not great that the game has 10 different endings that require over 100 hours of average playtime to see. That's just a way of making you feel like you could be special. Which is exactly what you never have. It is not romantic that the game deals with broad themes of loneliness and despair. You are actually alone. You are actually in despair. You know there is nothing romantic about it. None of it includes a longing gaze into the moonlight. It's just pizza pops and perversion until you have a stroke and your parents spend their retirement looking after you. Finally, it's not filled with rich, textured characters whose relationships and dialogue will pull at your heartstrings. It is hours of endless drivel that proffers and completely childish conceptions of intimacy and togetherness for the sole and pandering purpose of tricking you into the fake warmth of delusionally believing that you relate to something that you only wish you did. And you believe these things because you are nothing. You've never read a book that didn't have a dragon or a laser gun on the cover. You live in a filthy dark room with a laptop and a soda-stained mousepad. And you play Awake not because it is about human beings, but because you desperately wish you were a human being in the first place. But you are not. You are not the hero. You are the monster. User was banned for this post. Reason, TLDR. I'm not even saying that. So tired. Okay, so I can't leave the room. What else can I supposedly interact with? Oh, here we go. From Junior Assistant Executive Administrator, CEO Office, to Director Corporate Communications. Subject, no subject. Would you like to look at the transcript below and develop new messaging for transitional compensation interviews by COB? Program is excellent. So this problem is obviously in how your shop is telling HR to pitch it. Begin transcript. HRBP, thanks for coming in this morning, Evan. Door closing. Sure. I wish it were media under better circumstances. Time and time again, I've said that the one thing we need in this company, besides our top executive talent, are young people. Young people who don't just go back to bed instead of waking up. Young people who don't just walk around in a trance as if they have no future. Young people who won't let their peers down, even when they're asked to do more with less. I am biting my tongue very, very hard here to not go on my rant about the whole do more with less nonsense. Long pause. Sounds like it would be a shame to lose young people like that. I couldn't agree more. That's why I really hope you'll consider staying on with us, even though your compensation package will be transitioning from a direct model to an experiential one. What exactly does that management drivel mean? What? A new perspective. A new opportunity to really show us what you're made of. Long pause. I just want to be completely clear on this. You're talking about no money, right? Well, the philosophy that we're embracing is something that we call life stage-based compensation. We want to hone in on exactly what the needs are for each of our employee groups based on their current life phase. Silence. So, for an employee of your age and demographic profile, we know that all you're really looking for is mentorship, energy drinks, and a very, very high quantity of work that will really give you an exposure to the professional environment that you're looking for. I'm 28 years old. I'm not sure what demographic profile you're thinking I fit into. There are a lot of factors there. I mean, there are people here who have families to support. And as you'll no doubt recall from our mission and vision statements, this is a family company. Ooh. I watched 3 people who I know have young children leave here with boxes this morning. That's exactly why they were simply released. It would have been irresponsible of us to offer a transitional opportunity to them. We care enough to get them out of here and back into the search for a paying position as quickly as possible. Oh my. They have people who need them. Do you? Candidate exits, interview ends. And this is where I question whether Evan is actually experiencing depression or a completely rational response to this. No. That was years ago. I gotta get up. Okay, well, we've tried that. Oh, now we can leave the room. I screwed up my back a long time ago. Now I have a fancy chair that's probably screwing it up even more. Huh? I used to have a desktop. It's gone now. I just use the laptop in my room. Gaming console. This is the only reason I even own a TV. I sort of use this as a de facto garbage bin for anything that won't actually rot. It's full of plastic bags at the moment. Okay? Stove. Never used this. Fridge. I'll take a shower first. Okay? I shouldn't go to work until I take a shower and have something to eat. Okay, where's the shower? Patient transcript. Evan Winter. What is your earliest memory of disliking yourself? When I was 15 or 16, I shaved for the first time. Immediately, my skin had a vicious reaction to it. Red everywhere. My neck and my jawline were completely covered in huge bumps and rashes. I didn't come out of my room for hours. I hate looking in mirrors or being in pictures to this day. Are you sure it wasn't just poor technique? People always ask that, or at least look like they're thinking it. But no, I tried everything. It's like piano wire stabbing your face out from the inside. And it survives beyond every 4-figure shotgun solution in existence. And what happened after you came out? Nothing really, but I knew what it meant. This was high school. You saw those kids with horrifically scarring acne, and it isn't like this looked any better. From then on, I knew I was going to be one of those guys that girls would look away from for the rest of my life. That would be a very painful thing to believe. I guess it was the first time that I realized you could just get dealt a shitty hand. That there could be something wrong with you, and that no matter what, you would never be able to do anything about it. In a way, I think you were lucky to get as far as you did without learning that. Think of all the reasons in the world that you could have learned that sooner. Reasons that could have been much worse. I don't really know what to say about that. You only live life as yourself. This place may be disorganized, but there are some things you gotta keep clean. Take a shower? Yes. Patient transcript. Evan Winter. Do you ever have suicidal thoughts? What, you mean right now? Are you implying there are situations where you ordinarily would? Oh, a decision like that seems more responsibility than I could ever take for myself. Sometimes I'll stand in the shower for a long time, slowly turning up the temperature of the water until it hurts. Eventually, my body seems to adjust to the pain, and I'll try it up again and again. It hurts so much that I can't go any further. And you think about killing yourself in this way? By burning yourself? I'm not saying that I think this is what suicide is. I just think that it's what suicide is like. So you think about suicide more than you have any actual specific plans to commit suicide yourself. Is that correct? I guess. How often do you think about these things? A lot. How long have you been thinking this way? A long time. And how does thinking about why you want to do this make you feel? Frustrated? Tired? Hopeless? Reminiscent? Go to the roof of the building and jump off. How about no? I've got a lot of things to do today. I better eat something and get to the office. So that, I guess, was just supposed to be an intrusive thought. An epilogue to the weight loss book of a One-Day Right by Evan Winter. Before I wrote this book, I had reached a point where all I ever thought about was food. My life went from joking that nothing but pizza would give me relief to a life in which it was actually true. Do you know what it's like to wake up in the morning knowing that eating something terrible is the only happy thing that is going to happen to you all day? You kill yourself at some horrific job that you're lucky to have, and when it's all over, all you want to do is forget about it. People say you could stop, but you're so huge by now that you realize you would have to stop for years and years on end. And that even then, you still might not be good enough for anything or anyone. And by the time you do it, who can even say if anyone will be left? Still, you make a few attempts over the years because part of you thinks you would be a completely normal person if your weight didn't disqualify you from being one in the first place. Sometimes it even goes well, but in the end, you're still miles behind. And that one shitty, feel-good thing you've always had starts calling you. It's calling you when you realize that she isn't interested. It's calling you when you're out with people who don't have to live this way to just be normal. It's calling you when you go out to eat with your parents. You realize what a disappointment you are to them. What a waste of all that energy you were. All the time it's calling you. Why did I turn off Vibrate? Hello? Everything's great, Mom. Yeah, of course I'll have dinner with you guys this weekend. You can eat whatever you want. Doesn't matter to me. I gotta go to work, Mom. I don't know what's going on with either of them. No, I know. Okay, bye. Don't go to the roof. I had something to eat here, but I guess not. I'll get something on the way. Leave the apartment? Yes. Do you want to save your game? Yes. Take elevator to street. Okay. Student. Service every 10 minutes. Please, not with construction like this. But I guess it's better than a piece of the Gardner Expressway falling on your head. Guess I'll get something from the cart and hang out for a while. Recent transactions. Checking, debit, savings, display all balances. Checking balance, 29.38.42. Savings balance, 0. LOC balance, 34.96.21. Note, payment overdue. Credit card balance, 63.49.21. Note, payment overdue. The security of Canadians is our first concern. Change your PIN today. I don't know why it's Canadian. It just is. All right. Please read this if you are a young person, by Will O'Neill. If I have any fear about putting this project out, it's that somebody who is in the midst of a difficult time growing up will see this game and think that it applies to them. I'm not going to say that it was a lot like you. That I was a lot like you. I probably was. I've struggled with feelings of anger and depression since I was very young. No more than 12 or 13 years old. I don't need to get into what the problems both causing and caused by this were and still are. I think the things that happened in this game make them pretty clear. It's also pretty clear where all of this is headed, but listen. The fact that you are young means in and of itself that you still have a lot of time to change things. That doesn't mean you're going to get everything you want, but I promise that you can do a lot better than you will if you give yourself over to despair. It's when you get into your late 20s and early 30s, like the protagonist of this game, and like me, that a lot of the choices you made earlier can start to come seriously into play. A lot of doors can begin to close. A lot of things start to go on without you. I've been the way that I am my entire life, but let me tell you something. It's different now. And I'm seeing more and more how things will only get even more difficult over even more time. In the end, that's what this game is about, an end game. Somebody whose pain has slowly risen in excess of their ability to deal with it. Somebody whose options have become totally disconnected from fantasies and regrets that they can't turn away from. This game is not a game, it's a portrait. I've created it to document something that I think is human and beautiful and real. And if you appreciate that, great. That's what art is. But don't get it twisted. It's about a 30-something corporate dead-ender with no youthful energy, no people his own age who haven't moved on in life that he can turn to, and no time or money left to change or undo any of those things. I don't care how fucked up you think your life is, if you aren't at least 25, that ain't you. So don't. Don't you fucking dare. Okay? You want... Fine, save it, but I'm not... straight. I want to interact with some of these other people. How do I get... No! Okay, what do we get for interacting with this student? Not much. Why is this person just jumping? Hello? My career passion is to not be a stabbed homeless guy. By Evan Winter, uncertified life coach. When you sit down to do your daily 1-hour personal career goals timeout focus affirmation session, what amps you to the max? What motivates and engages you to take it to the next level? I mean, we'd all like to imagine the possibility of prosperity for everyone, or at least everyone of our ethnicity with similar educational background. But some people are winners, whereas others are merely honest. In the past, it was relevant for people to look at their professional arc a lot differently. What's your 5-year plan? What's your 10-year plan? What type of commute or living environment really meets your personal needs? What sort of retirement situation are you envisioning? And how would you like to see your defined benefit pension plan invested? Today, however, The good news is that none of those questions matter. Today, it is simply sufficient to ask yourself if you would or would rather not drink yourself to sleep on a vent every night. Nobody likes a 2-hour commute. Would you rather walk 17 blocks in the dead of winter for a cup of soup? Nobody appreciates an inability to visit the dentist. Or would you rather get your teeth clubbed out by a disgruntled police officer? And the people on top, they wonder how they ever lost this plot to begin with. Why did we ever give anyone anything, they say? Why didn't we just ask them if they'd rather be a stabbed homeless guy? I don't know what to say, but I do want to give him something. Thanks, pal. You got a smoke? No? Sorry, man. Okay. I do not appear to actually be able to get anything from the thing. Oh, here we go. Patient transcript, Evan Winter. Do you understand that in many ways you're very fortunate? What do you mean? You've had access to education and security. You're a white male. There's a great deal of privilege intertwined with nearly everything about who you are. I don't know. I feel an awful lot like a member of that club in name and sight only. I don't have some friend with a cottage. I've never participated in any mud-based fitness challenges. And there are no adorable blondes meeting me for blind dates at ironic board game cafes. Those aren't the type of advantages I'm talking about. I know, but they're the type of advantages that education and security make worth having in the first place, aren't they? What would even change if I lived in some kind of cart life for $7 an hour? What do you think? I think it would just mean being openly rejected by the types of people who only pretend to accept me now. And that isn't worth something? All I'm talking about is being something but not being something but not being part of it. Coffee? Fruit? Thanks. Have a great day. Okay. You've interacted with coffee cart, the ATM, the student, the other student, the person who is trying to be a frog, does not want to be interacted with. Oh, kid. No, I'm spamming Z and getting nothing. Oh, there. Oh. Okay, Christmas bullshit. By Evan Winter. When I think of what it would mean to be grown up, I have an unshakable impression of going home for Christmas Eve with my wife and my infant children. There are 3 of them, and they are all equally infantile. But they're not triplets. It's snowing outside, even though it never snows on Christmas Eve in Toronto anymore. And as my parents open the front door that I just knocked on with one of those big brass things, even though we've never had one, and obviously I don't know what it's called, the heavenly aroma of an industrial bakery licks across the face. All of this, my wife is so hot. She looks like a compilation of every girl who has ever wasted my time. My father hands me a cigar and gives me the good news. We're both amazing at playing the acoustic guitar. It's a Christmas miracle. Later on that evening, I'm sitting in bed with my wife, and she tells me that she will always love me and that we will never die. That's all I ever think about when I think of having kids. How much of a failure I am that I cannot, because the world I have described, I cannot cause the world I have described here to exist. Okay, kid is now student. School. Okay. Interact with the light. Don't know why the flower is making me save. Is the bus ever going to show up? Take the street to go to work. Yes, please. Not sitting right next to somebody. Okay. Guess we're going down here. Turn the headphones up and wait? Yes. That red-haired guy keeps looking at me. He stares straight ahead. Okay. Do I just randomly decide when we reach my stop? Hey, excuse me. All Strangers Are Entrepreneurs by Evan Winter. Hi, I noticed that you made eye contact with me for half a second, and then immediately regretted it. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm a fucking asshole. I'm disgusting. Do I want to talk to you because I sincerely cherish a genuine sense of community and goodwill towards men? Nope. I am an absolute loser, bothering one stranger after another in an awkward revelation of my own failure. Looking for someone to become my downline in a multi-level marketing scheme. I think you ought to change religions. I'm one of those charity people who used to wear an apron so people would know to avoid me. I want to ask you out to coffee. Rub your shoulders while the dirty sleeves of my jean jacket infect your pores, and then try to have sex with you before you realize that I'm unemployed. I'm that legitimately horrible and sad person that you could one day be like. One a dumb story happened to. One who got a DUI, and then they found weed in my car, plus the money I stole from work. Family is dead, and I have no friends, and I'm desperate for anybody to talk to, even though I have nothing to say, and I know that nobody likes me. Or maybe you would like me, but you don't want to know. I'm that weird, middler asshole who barks at cashiers and hits on waitresses and holds up the universe. But I am a human being, and there is nothing I can do to make God stop loving me. Everywhere I go, I tell the few people who can barely stand me the exact same thing. That everyone is just way too uptight about talking to strangers. Even though I am exactly the reason that absolutely nobody wants to. Then I say, chill out! Or some other extremely dated piece of slang that solidifies me as even more creepy. This is when you realize I am trying to look at your boobs, or your shoes, or that I don't even have the confidence to meet your eye line. And some types of instinct dawns on you that says, hey, your shoelace is untied. Oh, thanks. It is quite a game. It certainly has the intrusive thoughts approach, for sure. It's got that down. And it definitely is capturing very effectively the depressed experience. What else do I need to interact with to get out of this streetcar, though? Sitting right next to somebody. Fine. I tried Doing other... Leave? I cannot leave. Let's go straight ahead. Okay. Also, I'm sorry, those look like the doors for like a building, not a streetcar. Why? Is that what they actually would look like in Toronto? And the benches also look more like park benches than what I would expect to see in a streetcar. I am finding everything about this very confusing. Notice the wall texture continues behind the door. Oh, interesting. Hey, but I don't have a whole lot of other options here. There's literally nothing else left to interact with. And the only options I have are yes or no. Oh, whoa. And this time, yes got me somewhere. Okay, apparently this is our corporate hellscape. This is a couch for guests and clients to sit on while they wait to see somebody. It's the only well-kept piece of furniture in the office. There's a bunch to say about what I do for a living. We're just like everyone else. Do we work in marketing, in finance, for the government, for people, for good, for evil? Does it matter? No matter what, if we can make money off of it and you ask us if we can do it, we say yes. You ask us if what we do is effective, middle managers who hired us, whose job security depends on us having been effective, will tell you yes. If you ask us if what we do is important, we'll point you in the direction of the media channel that makes a living off reporting on our industry, and they will say yes. A lie that everybody can pay their mortgage with becomes the truth faster than you would believe. But, in the end, we're really just a bunch of white people pushing piles of money around in circles, while reality occurs in parts unknown. We go to conferences, and the maids break their backs cleaning our hotel rooms. We eat at restaurants while cooks trip and immolate each other in blistering oil. Janitors have heart attacks and buffing floors on a graveyard shift for 30 years, and all of this for what? Networking, best practices, leadership. We don't let anyone into the network, and we don't practice anything. We We don't lead anyone anywhere but someplace fucked up, where we get paid and they get paid. And everyone goes home and does their job the same way anyways. Exactly whatever some boss wants. So who are we and what do we do here? We send emails. We go to meetings. We hope to one day get high enough to become invincible and to be rewarded even when we fuck up everybody and everything up. Sometimes I think, can I go my whole career without doing a single useful material thing? Did a street sweeper eclipse my social utility the day he picked up a piece of gum? Okay. Russell. This is Russell. He's like a less successful version of my brother. Whereas my brother gets paid handsomely to do basically nothing, and can hire all of the lawyers and accountants in the world to defend it, Russell has mastered the limited middle-class version of this, being a sycophantic little shithead. He works from home so much that he doesn't even bother having a desk anymore. In fact, he really only shows up to the office to watch sports highlights on the plasma screen that we bought to facilitate better team collaboration. He's the kind of person whose enthusiasm is so facile and transparent, everything he says to you feels like an insult to your intelligence. Assuming you have any. When it's all over, and everyone who actually does anything has been completely outsourced, the Russells of the world will be the last man standing in the corporate metaverse. They'll be on the conference calls to their bosses in China, going on about how everything is doing great, just great, except for the following people who have really let them down. Yeah, they're just really not hitting it. They're not getting it. I'm just looking at this stuff and, geez, I don't know. It's just not right. What do you guys think? What's up, bro? Nothing, man. Hey, can you ask your brother if he's interested in that thing I told him about? What thing? Trust me, bro, he'll know what I mean. It's an amazing opportunity. Cool. I haven't seen him in a while, but I'll let him know. Alright. From Roy Parsons, President and CEO, to Sender. To Sender? Subject, vacation alert. Please note that I'll be out of the office this week, Monday through Thursday inclusive. If you're writing about the numerous large projects that have key deliverables due on Friday afternoon, please note that my calendar on Friday morning is limited due to a networking jog/brunch. If you are a client, please rest assured that I will cursorily review your work 10 minutes before you are supposed to have it. Blame others for my total lack of context regarding what it even is, and ask that it be completely restarted and refinished in a matter of hours, regardless of the merit or necessity of my proposed improvements to it. I bought my job, and I am a clown. My bottom desk drawer, though, is a god-awful television pilot I wrote about how I am a genius who brings a magical, finishing touch to all the work of a company who is overjoyed to bask in my creative glory despite my near-continuous absence, my petulant childishness, and my total lack of solidarity with the people I'm supposed to be leading. There's a scene where a beautiful 22-year-old graphic design intern tells me how artistically inspired she was by the mixtape I gave her of all my favorite bands, including the one I used to play in. Seriously, I have no idea how. I'm not saying that. Very truly, Roy Parsons. President, CEO, Chief Creative Officer, Ideas Guy. Yeah. There are multiple reasons this is not happening either. It does some very effective things about the experience of depression, but yeah. From Paula Young, Senior Partner / Chairwoman, to all staff. Subject, my resignation / live for your dreams. Priority high. Dearest employees, it is with bittersweet mixture of joy and sadness that I must announce my divestment and resignation from the company effective immediately. While I would have preferred to be available to help with the numerous surprise obstacles that this would present, the timing of my departure coincided with existing travel plans that could not have been changed without putting my elite passenger status on Air Canada at risk. When I began my career as an employee at an agency similar to ours over 15 years ago, things were much more difficult. All of my peers seemed to question my opinions, dismiss my ideas, and even make faces at me as if I was some kind of stupid idiot. For me, the meaning of this was clear. I was much more capable, creative, and out of the box than everyone around me. True maverick. With the agreement of my husband and his financial support, I founded this organization. The point of this story is clear. You've got to live your values. You've got to choose the life you want to live and make it happen, just like I did. I've often asked myself why all of you seem to be so stressed out and miserable, as if some horrifically ignorant force, oblivious to its own recklessness, is compelling you to do things that don't make any sense. Someday, I hope you'll realize you can do whatever you want. You just have to go for it. The next chapter of my life, for example, will be through a line of motivational handbags that I message deleted. Is there an extra stapler in here? I can't find my stapler. Sorry, man, I'm not touching any of this shit. I'm gonna talk to Tori first. Where's Jackie? I don't know. Who's Tori? Who's Jackie? Do I need to go down the middle between the desks? Oh, Troy, not Tori. Yep, you'll have to come back in 5. I'm just getting ready for a call. I actually don't even know why I'm standing here. Where did I put the proposal? I just had it. It was right here last night. I don't have time to look for it. Natasha, I need to have a copy of the proposal printed out. Please and thank you. I'm busy. Is Jackie here then? I need it for my call. I don't know why I don't have it. It was literally sitting here last night. This is Troy. Nobody likes Troy, including me. But I feel for him. He's married, late 40s or so, commutes 2 hours from the deep, deep suburbs every day, and works on weekends all the time. I can't even imagine the last time he saw the house he spends every day paying for in the actual sunlight. 3 kids, wife doesn't work, and even though he's the most experienced and senior person here, there's always a palpable sense in the air that he would be the first person to wipe down the urinals if the owners told him to. I think about what he might have been like as a younger guy, at his wedding, or one of those other things that make you feel like the future has a future. Oh, Evan, how are you doing? Hey Natasha, how's it going? Okay. Okay, talk to you later, I guess. Okay. Nobody knows much about Natasha. She can't really speak English. She does a bunch of our administrative work. She couldn't possibly make very much money. And she has a way of smiling at you that discourages any kind of follow-up questions whatsoever. She looks like she's in her late 40s, but something tells me she might look a lot older than she actually is. It's not that she has some kind of hard-chiseled beauty, though. She just looks like she's been through more than she should have. And where they found her? Who knows? Hey, message me. Message local login online. Tori, sorry, it's too late in the morning to have Natasha glaring at me. Sure, what's up? Nothing. What'd you do all weekend? Did you go out? Friday, yeah, I went to the Jackson night at Jackson right after work until 3 in the morning. I remember it and never meant to. Don't start. I'm starting. You live in downtown Toronto, have all the free time in the world, and you go to a sports bar and a chain hotel? Why are you even alive? I don't know. Not into this hipster bullshit. What hipster bullshit? Being cool in interesting places? Drinking is drinking. What's the difference? Between sales convention tourists and people your own age? Is that a serious question? And I am not a hipster, even if saying so proves it. No kidding. Your parents aren't nearly rich enough. If you hate money, I can help you with that. All I'm saying is that the worst thing about nice things are the people who can afford them. Nice things would be better off with you? I don't know. It's just sad. But you love being sad. It's cool to be sad. No, it isn't. It's just sad. Transcript, late night show in progress. Guest, Evan Winters. I mean, I'm a little surprised you aren't out there going out with all kinds of chicks. Well, for a long time, women really only hurt me. I mean, it wasn't their fault at all. It was really just the natural outcome of somebody who looks like me being interested. You weren't, doing too well, huh? You have to understand what it does to a person to warp that emotion for so long. Turn something that's supposed to be beautiful into nothing but a signal of imminent misery. Well, we all know what that can be like. No, I actually don't think that we all do. Most people, they win some, they lose some. And it's all just some fucking song on the radio. That's a lot different than knowing for certain that your love is something that is going to hurt people you care about, and that it'll only hurt you too. Still, you gotta try. No, the only thing you gotta try is to never feel a goddamn thing for anybody, because you don't want to make them feel awkward. You damn sure don't want their pity. So what do? Nothing really. Try to be cool until you can't stand it anymore. And then you just stop talking to them. Boy, you're a real pal. Oh, I know. And believe me, realizing that you can either be a bad guy or a non-guy is the point where you just stop talking to women completely. Oh, so you stopped talking to women you were attracted to completely? Well, sometimes you meet somebody and you just don't have a choice. Maybe all that pain just seems worth going through all over again. Maybe you think things will be different this time. No, you know better than that. You just, I don't know. I know it's really stupid, and I know it isn't even true, but I really, really love her. Well, I'll be right back after these messages with Evan Winter. Stupid liar. Evan? Sorry. What? Can you come to that meeting tomorrow? What? Oh, sure. You're too funny. Tori, I try to work. Please be quiet. Sorry, Natasha. Oh no, Evan, don't worry. You talked to Tori and Troy and Natasha, and I don't know where Jackie is. Well-informed and worthwhile opinions that fill the trash cans of agencies around the world. By Evan Winter. I like the idea of having statements that specifically talk about the impact our product has on customers. But how are we really telling our brand story? This still image of an inanimate object really needs to have a stronger sense of movement throughout. This line of meaningless rhetoric in this thing that is fundamentally about absolutely nothing really isn't adding any value. I saw this thing last night in a movie and I loved it. Our thing should be just as good. Because even though our budget is a 16th of what it took to create that, I can still remember a time when it was only half. Okay, here's the deal. I don't like this thing. I don't have any real reason for disliking it. I just like it the way that certain people don't like pickles. Or reggae. It's just idle preference. I didn't go to school for marketing or advertising or design or writing or anything like that. I just did a job at a corporation and one day they decided to shelve me here because they figured that at least there was a hard limit to how much damage I could do. Another possibility is that I'm actually very intelligent but I'm the wrong gender or ethnicity. And I needed to be put somewhere prominent but ultimately harmless. Either way, I've either come to not care that my actions are devoid of any rationale or, even more dangerously, I believe that my intuitions represent some sort of natural capability. I've either always been like this and consequently started my own company because I was incapable of working for someone else, or it happened to be after being promoted to a level high enough that people just stopped bothering to disagree with you. So you know, I'm just not sure about the blue. Okay, that was all very, very random. Looks like we have another doorway here. Is that where Jackie's gonna be? Jackie, hi there. Oh, I'm sorry. Patient transcript, Evan Winter. There's somebody I work with. She's sick. It's the kind of sick that doesn't quite get you on disability, It just fucks with you dead in the middle of being able to have a job, but not being able to be any good at it. She misses a lot of work for medical appointments? Is that still what you're calling them? All I've ever seen is somebody wait for 2 hours, wait another 6 hours for a test, and then wait another 3 hours to find out it was inconclusive. Where's the medicine? Where's the appointment? You're upset about this. Most people are upset about this. No, I mean you're upset about it in a way that you usually aren't. You care about this person. And this story isn't noise. It's different. You were there. She was alone. I was around. You really feel that way about it? I was in a situation where refusing to help somebody would have made me very bad. That doesn't make me very good. And the last thing I want is to end up even more involved in it. Right. Except now you know that it might matter if you aren't. I'm fine. I know. I'll be out later. Is there a meeting in here? I don't think so. I'll check. No, don't. I just need a minute. Recycling. An oversized recycling bin of chart paper by Evan Winter. A few years ago, the bosses went to a 3-day, $5,000 leadership seminar and came back convinced that the reason the company wasn't growing was because people weren't collaborative enough. Accordingly, with no collaboration, it was determined that everything anyone said in a meeting had to be not only written down, but written down such that arrows could jut out of it, allowing any free associations about it to be captured as well. This policy lasted for precisely 1 meeting, after which time the walls of the room were covered from floor to ceiling with graph paper containing what appeared to be the indecipherable corporate thought of a mental hospital. Paper was then torn down and placed into this bin, where it remains to this day. The financial problems that the company had been having would later be linked to excessive overhead in the area of leadership development. Of course, this leadership development was never recorded as compensation. And this, among other things, were not factored into the deeply disappointing salaries the owners were then forced to draw for that year. Salaries which, of course, were ample evidence of the total impossibility of providing any employees with bonuses or raises. Yet, to be honest, this story gives me a good feeling, because I know that nothing this fucked up can go on forever. Alright, dude. Can I go any further down this way? No, I've already been there. I've already been in that room. Yep, we've seen all this before. Okay, we've seen all this before. This is a poster with an internet meme from 2 or 3 years ago. I think the owners put it up to make us seem tech savvy. But all it really signals is the fact that we don't know when something is over. Alright then. Yeah, right, if only. Oh, right, you were going to talk to Jackie and then go to work. So now what does work get us? Work? Yeah, sure. Patient transcript, Evan Winter. Talk about depression, but it doesn't seem to affect your ability to work an 8-hour day. I treat people who can't even get out of bed. Doctor, you need to understand the range of depression that exists. There's something about being around people who aren't fucked up that makes me a different person, I guess. Maybe I feel like looking weak in front of normal people is the saddest thing that anybody could possibly do. So what changes when you leave? Well, there's nobody around, I guess. And what happens then? I don't know. I find myself at stupid places doing stupid things. Are you saying you have no memory of how you got there? No, I remember how. I just never remember why. Okay. I wish I had a really cool washer and dryer. Those stylish faux retro ones with the curved bubble glass on the front. I mean, nothing wrong with what I have now, but it's not like it's interesting or anything. If I ever get rich, everything I have is going to be cool as shit. Why not? I mean, once you don't have to worry anymore, you can just be cool. That must be a lot of fun. The only fun, really. I don't know if rich people understand that they're the only ones who are really having a good time in life out of absolutely everybody. This is stupid. Why am I here? Why do I do this? You know, I really like clothes. It's too bad that none of them fit me, but maybe buying some things that I actually would want to wear would motivate me to lose weight. It's probably exactly the thing I need to do. You can't say it doesn't make perfect sense. I don't want to be this way, but it seems like being even more this way is the only way to stop being like it. I don't even really like any of the genres that any of these new games are in. I guess the reviews of some of them are pretty good though. My video game? Sure. This will be the last time. I don't even like these things anymore. All of them are practically identical to me at this point. This will be the last time. And now I guess we're headed home. He looks tired. I wonder if I'll have work a night shift. Who knows? Maybe it'll be for the best. You think it fucking matters to me? You think it makes any difference at all? What? Sitting this close to that guy is just asking for bullshit. Turn the headphones up and wait? Sure. Okay, now we're back home. Take elevator to apartment. Patient transcript, Evan Winter. When do you feel the absolute lowest? The moment I walk in the door. No question. Why do you think that is? Why feel worse off when you get home than any other time? You know, I think our generation is growing up and going down. It's not just in my imagination that things are getting worse. We should all be in a period of our lives when we're building and learning and doing new things, coming into our own as professionals, making more money, and look, we've talked about all this before. I don't know. I guess it all just feels the same, day in and day out. Except you know that in some way you're falling apart. Well, who isn't? Also, very unhelpful, Doc. You know, it isn't like I never tried. It's just that all my trying never really amounted to much. And how many people really changed the path they started going down when they started out? It's like a fundamental idea of our entire culture. You can change, that you can do whatever you want. And your problem is what exactly? That nobody is keeping records on how true or untrue that is? Actually, I think they are. People can't even, most people can't deal with that kind of hopelessness. Maybe they have a way of dealing with it that you just don't know anything about. You think I don't know what you keep trying to bring this conversation back around to? I get it. I'm lonely. I'm sad and I'm lonely. This is why I'm in therapy. Are you happy now? Is this what psychiatrists do? Just keep needling at people until they simplify their problems into something you can write a prescription for? How should I know? You're the one making all of this up. I'm not even real. Well, honestly, I'm feeling a lot better about this with the doctor not being real, because that doctor really sucked. You just imagine all of this to try to romanticize being a drain circling nobody. You saw a therapist one time, he told you to come back when you had real problems. I'm just like all these other stupid scenarios that you play out in your head, like being a creative writing professor, or how cool and melancholy you'll be on a talk show. And all of this nonsense, what's it really for? I don't know. It's all to avoid telling yourself that you're nothing. You're anything more than some fat, booze, sugar, and porn-addicted idiot who wasted every opportunity he ever had. It's funny how I was always like this, and yet it got worse at the same time. You know? You live this fucked up type of way, you just slowly coast deeper and deeper into it. So your whole life is just this weird, paradoxical mix of desperate survival and slowly killing yourself at the same time. To be honest, I completely agree with you. I think you should end it. You think? It's either that or live a shitty, terrible life. Other people don't want other people to do it, but whose shoes do they have to live in? What the fuck do they know? Want to live in all this agony, you go ahead. But stop telling yourself it's because you still think you can do any better. Start admitting that it's actually because you're too scared to do what you know you should. Oof. You don't want to inconvenience people. You don't want to make them sad. You want them to remember you as that funny guy to have around, or to keep wishing you could measure up to some fantasy that you should have grown out of 10 years ago. You don't have anything to look forward to. It's just going to be the same stupid shit every day for the rest of your goddamn life. So stop wasting my time, go to the roof of the building, and jump off. No. Fine. Someday, you're gonna wake up one morning and even all of these things that pulled you down won't make you feel any better. In fact, you won't feel anything at all. And do you even know why? Because nobody who isn't obligated to, or who isn't pathetic themselves, even fucking cares that you're alive. And nothing you can do will keep that from sinking in. I know. Wow. Years go by. So hungover. God. I can't take this anymore. I can't take any of it. The same stupid shit, this fucking alarm clock. I fucking hate this shit. Destroy everything in the apartment. Alarm clock shattered, so what? Like I don't have a goddamn alarm clock in my phone? VIP inbox, everything in the goddamn universe to keep anybody from getting a goddamn notification. Wasting my time, wasting my life. I don't even want to look at this thing. Why did I even buy it? Like I've even read half the books I already own. Big fat fancy chair for being a fuckhead who never gets up his ass all fucking day. Like I really need it just because of my back. Like I've got any good reason not to just be popping pills all the time with the rest of the wretched fucking universe. Like I can't just lay in my fucking bed all night like a goddamn vegetable. What's the difference anyways? I don't even fucking get home before 7 p.m. most nights. Then what the fuck am I getting home for even when I do? Just to sit in this fucking chair, sit in this chair and be a fucking jerk off on Facebook and watch YouTube. Isn't everything just so fucking fascinating? Okay. Flat screen neo-yuppie bullshit. All you have to do is destroy everything. By Evan Winter. You know, the problem with you is not that you're a gutless, craven pussy who can't get off your ass. No. The problem is that you have too much stuff. Consumer electronics are your problem. The internet is your problem. All these unbelievably entertaining things, and you're just hopelessly addicted to all of them. That's why you need to cancel your home internet, cancel your high-definition cable, rip apart your $2,000 gaming PC and throw it in the garbage. Leave yourself with nothing but a bunch of crappy, outdated console systems. Because you want to be a different person. A month later, you'll be sitting on your blanked-out apartment with nothing to do. Finally say to yourself, it's time to get out there in the world. I want to meet strangers in cafes. I want to join a kickball league. But not long after this, you'll find yourself playing those crappy, outdated consoles every night, punching yourself for wrecking your own shit. Just because you want to be a different person doesn't mean you'll be able to become one. Fuck you. Like I even need a kitchen. Doesn't matter now. Empty. I'll just go eat shit like I usually do. No. Alcoholic vomit is coolness leaving the body by Evan Winter. A lot of fat people think they're hot shit because they drink a lot. They know that nobody in a social situation really wants to talk to them, so they hang out with each other and get totally fucking wasted. Sometimes, if they're rich or funny, few people will find them endearing enough to actually speak to. By and large, however, they just get completely annihilated and go home to throw up in their cracked tea toilets. But all this is an outsider's perspective. The real reason that people drink is because it actually makes them feel confident. Confidence for a 300-pound piece of human shit is all they ever wanted. They feel levitation, carelessness, acceptance. Then, one day, you'll feel bad enough when you're not drunk that you realize that drinking actually makes you feel the way that regular people feel all the time. Needless to say, this is when you know it's time to mature into an older and wiser person and switch to antidepressants. Oh God. Oh God. I'm gonna stop drinking. I'm gonna quit this job. I'm gonna stop everything. Doesn't even do anything. Why don't I care anymore? Why don't I care anymore? Go to the roof of the building and jump off. You say, by Evan Winter, you say you refuse to be the creature you are and go on living. It slushes around in your skull like acid, aching from the moment you wake up to the minute you stand still and breathe through the water to the hours you lay in bed at night, shifting through one piece of your breaking body to another. You say you won't go on, not alone, not like this. You say it isn't human, that it isn't safe. You say it isn't natural to exist in nothing but contemplation of the joy you will never have, however secure you may be for the moment. Too much can be undone by a lost and angry person in a single decision. You say you're tired of the pain and sickness that stole your youth. You say you've had enough of waiting to see what part of your mind or body collapses next. You say you won't submit to the incomprehensible object that all of it is slowly turning you into, a target of awkward silence and false hope, a wedding, funeral, family asterisk. Some careerist article by some careerist asshole on how society is in full-scale collapse because the government will pay for your pointless, stupid, unlivable life. If you say so, you say you won't suck off this sad and stupid future. You say you won't take another job like the one you just lost. You won't buy the next new cell phone. You won't keep meeting up with the same old people who do the same old things. You say you won't do it. You swear to God you won't do it. So go on, say it. Say it to yourself. Get drunk and say it to your friends. Say it to someone you wish cared about you and actually believe that it makes you look romantic instead of ridiculous. Say it on Twitter or Tumblr until It's all that anybody believes about who you are. Say it like the world won't go on without you, or that you have anything to lose but yourself. Say it for the sake of never doing anything until the day comes when everything you said so much about losing is actually lost. The day that everything you said would happen actually happens. And the only choice left is either something worse, grinding years of living through it without the heart for anything, or nothing at all. When there is nothing left to say, what will you say instead? You know what? Fuck this. I'm fine. I'm going to work. Enough of this bullshit. I'm just going to be different. I'm going to be just fine being myself, and it's going to be fine. I can find my own way to being somebody better. With all that stuff gone, all I have to do now is do something good. Just one day at a time. Someday, this whole part of my life will just be a tiny memory. Okay. We're at about the usual time that I would call it for stream. I don't know if this goes any further, but one of my criteria for any games that I make available for this assignment, and just to rewind, this all comes back to as long as you're here. I decided that that actually would be a good potential assignment for a student to do in my psych nursing class and write something about. But some people will not be in a place where that is like manageable or in any way appropriate for them to do at that time. So I wanted to find other possibilities, other experiences that try to let you into the brain of somebody with a particular mental health challenge. I may or may not go with this one. It absolutely captures a lot of the extremely toxic stuff that goes on in the depths of depression. If I include this, it will have so many warnings next to it, not only for stuff that it could bring up if you are somebody who experiences depression, but also for all the language and all of the there's homophobia, there's racism, there's ableism, there's the internalized fatphobia, there's like so much stuff. And it makes sense for this character. Not everybody's going to deal with that well. So, yeah, this is a maybe. On the one hand, if what somebody wants to do is, for their choice for this assignment, is experience somebody who's spiraling through the absolute depths of depression to the point that they have fabricated this doctor who is amplifying all of the worst aspects of their depression, then this could be a good vehicle. But it could also really go badly. So I am not sure. So what I am going to say is thank you for coming along for the ride, despite the fact this is radically different than any stream I've ever done. Certainly not family friendly in the least. But I do think it was worthwhile to do and to go through, at least to that point. But yeah, it was a lot. I mean, Celeste was amusing, watching me just die repeatedly, I'm sure, by comparison. I almost feel like I should go back to that just to end on a less depressing note, although at least at the end of that scene he was at a point where he was at least going to try to move forward, which is why I felt like that was a good place to stop. Um, but also, it's been a very long day and I'm exhausted, so I'm not sure I can jump back to another game. Tomorrow night will be Spooky Stardew, as usual, as we get into winter, which, hey, very appropriate because it has been very winter here. I see that we've got a total of 4 people here at the moment, so let me peek on Twitch and see if there is no staying in category. Let me see if there's somebody it would make sense to raid. You see the Arizona dads are doing something, but we are not raiding any of them, that is for sure, with 4 whole people. Oh, Sunday Latte's up. Tells Professor Gallifrey. I think I've rated Professor Gallifrey more recently than Sunday Latte, so let's go over and say hello to Sunday Latte. Let's head on over and say hello. Thank you very much for coming along on this very unusual and challenging ride. And until next time, I hope you have a wonderful day. If, by the way, any of this brought up any problems, concerns, anything for you, please, please, please make sure to get support. I should probably actually have a command with some, like, international resource lines of some sort. Because, while the others may not all be quite this challenging, they probably will be challenging in various ways, so, yeah. Thank you for adding that as well, Bon. Alright, until next time, I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.